Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ari, and today we're going to have some more stories about our toxic life. But before we start, it would be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to my channel, like the video, if you enjoy it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now without further ado, let's go. Today's first story. In this story, a couple, who have been together for 15 years and are on the brink of achieving their dreams together, opened their marriage to explore the wife's newfound attraction to a female coworker. However, the wife and her girlfriend had an ongoing affair, including at work, and planned to continue it while using the husband for financial stability. He discovered this and is considering divorce due to trust issues, especially since the wife and her girlfriend will continue working closely together. Complicating matters are the wife's conservative family and her potential career consequences. Now let's get into the story. My wife and I were high school sweethearts. We went to college and professional school together, and we're completing the final stages of our postgraduate training together. We have been married for 8 years and have been together for 15 years. I completed the final training stage earlier than her and am moving to a phase of my career where I signed a big contract, and in a couple of months my salary, currently 50k, will instantly increase 5 to 6 times and afford us a type of lifestyle neither of us has ever experienced. She has 2 years until something similar will happen to her. She and I were unbelievably close to experiencing the rewards of all our years of supporting each other and delayed gratification. I negotiated my contract to last until she finished her training, and she and I would then get to decide for the first time where we wanted to go and live our dream life on our own terms. About a month ago, she approached me and told me she was experiencing a confusing physical attraction to a female coworker and close friend of hers. She has historically never been attracted to other women. She felt strongly enough about these feelings to bring it up to me, and I believed it took a lot of courage to admit it to herself and to talk to me about it as well, especially given her extremely religious, conservative upbringing. We have talked in theory about polyamorous relationships, and although we had always been games. She knew I had a firm belief that humans could have feelings for more than one person at once without those feelings being less valuable or less legitimate. She requested a conditional open marriage to explore these new developments in her sexuality. She spoke to her friend who reciprocated the attraction. We discussed ground rules that we could all agree on to allow them to explore things in a way that was clearly designed to keep our marriage as the final priority, and all parties agreed to proceed with full consent. I initially created this account to explore polyamory and open marriage subreddits. Any negative emotions I was experiencing I interpreted as jealousy, which I needed to work through, and I started seeing a therapist with a specific goal of processing those feelings to allow my wife, whom I implicitly trusted, the freedom I felt she deserved. On multiple occasions, I even apologized to both of them for taking longer to get comfortable with the arrangement than I originally anticipated. I didn't need to do any of this for long, because my rapidly developing suspicions that something was deeply wrong proved to be correct. After enough violations of our rules in a short period of time, coercing me into allowing her to push those boundaries further and faster than she knew I was comfortable with, and general sketchy and dishonest behavior, I couldn't ignore my suspicions anymore and looked through her phone one night while she was asleep. I felt genuinely awful violating her privacy like that. Despite one of the ground rules of the arrangement being completely open communication, including the option to review each other's digital communication, which we both knew I never actually had any intention of doing, I found a staggering amount of unequivocal evidence that the two of them had been having an affair for an indeterminate amount of time, but definitely much longer than our open experiment. It appears they actually came up with the idea together in order to spend additional time together on top of what they were already doing behind my back during the time I did know about. They were meeting far more often than I knew. Having her girlfriend park down the street and sneak through the backyard to avoid triggering our security system, so they could spend nights together while I was out of town or working an overnight shift, lying about having to stay late at work in order to spend time together. As well as having frequent intimate contact in their workplace during work hours, they were also intimate in our bed. Didn't even change the sheets afterwards sometimes, which was a boundary that my wife herself had proposed we keep as something for only the two of us. Aside from crossing numerous physical boundaries and lying about the timeline, there were also messages in which they were making long-term plans for the next 2 years. When my new job would frequently pull me away from home to essentially live together in our house for a significant portion of the year, using my increased income to fund things they wanted to do together. Even more shocking was a clear pattern that showed my wife to be the primary instigator and aggressor in their relationship. Several times her girlfriend showed some degree of hesitancy, to which my wife would explain to her how she would fix this for them and that all she had to do was keep me happy enough to remain oblivious, and very soon they would have essentially free rein to have a life together. The texts I was reading sounded like some evil sociopath I had never met, especially not the love of my life to whom I have devoted 15 years. When I confronted my wife about this yesterday, she claimed to have no idea what I was talking about. Even when presented with screenshots of her own words, she continued to try denying she was clearly having a prolonged affair, that she planned to continue, and was going to use me for financial security while living a double life with her girlfriend. After hours of discussion, she finally admitted to everything. Obviously, I am completely lost right now. I have never made a single decision in my adult life that did not include thinking of us as a single unit, always working towards a shared goal that we were so close to achieving. I feel like I don't even know who this person is, and we have been together for over half of our lives. Now that she has been caught, she claims that she has broken off her relationship with her girlfriend and is willing to do anything it takes to rebuild trust between us. To me, this seems impossible due to the nature of their jobs. She and the person she was cheating on me with will see each other on nearly a daily basis over the next 2 years, which will include multiple mandatory overnight stays together and the potential to be assigned night shifts alone together for up to a month at a time. They have already cheated together while at work on multiple occasions, and my wife would text her afterward about how she thought it was extra hot. Even if I reach a place where I want to try to fix things, in my mind, there is no way that can happen while the two of them are still seeing each other on a daily basis. Leaving her current job essentially ends her career, leaving her with 6-figure debt and no way to pay them off. She is trying to come up with some system of accountability that will make it possible to trust that she isn't continuing her affair at work. But I cannot think of anything that would possibly give me the level of reassurance I would need due to the extreme and complicated measures she has already used in the past to deceive me and her clear ability to look me in the eye and lie in a way that made me believe her. So I am nearly certain we need to get a divorce. I wish I could say I was 100% certain, but I don't think my brain is capable of imagining a future without us being together. Despite knowing we need to split up, the nature of her affair presents additional complications. Her family is extremely religious, and there's a chance they would disown her due to her affair being with a woman. Her family also has seen the levels of love and support I've given over the years and thinks of me as a son. I'm probably closer to her parents than I am to my own. Additionally, her workplace actions could either result in significant setbacks or termination, which would leave her with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt with a much more limited ability to ever get it paid off somehow. Despite everything she has done, I do not want to burn her personal life, family life, and career completely to the ground. So I am currently keeping it a secret from almost everyone else in our lives until we come up with an acceptable cover story for why this blissfully happy and successful couple suddenly got a divorce when we were on the verge of enjoying everything we had worked our whole lives to achieve. I feel like an idiot. I feel alone, and an anonymous wall of text on a subreddit is one of my only outlets to process the most painful experience of my life. Today's second story. In this story, OP's wife asked for separation in August 2020, and it was later revealed she had been cheating on them. The husband initially wanted her back but has since learned she had been seeing someone else for a while. They mention their own improvements since the separation, including weight loss and career progress, while their wife has struggled with depression, substance use, and financial difficulties. The husband is trying to move on and is in therapy but still feels emotional pain from the situation, particularly given the context of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now let's get into the story. This is my first time posting on Reddit, so I'm going to do my best. I don't know the acronyms yet. I'm trying to learn them all. If my writing and story is all over the place, Just know I'm going off the top of my head and thoughts and emotions right now. Sorry to start. I'm 31 and my wife is 28. We have 2 kids, ages 7 and 5. My wife asked me for separation August 27, 2020. She left that day and was apparently living with her mom. The day after, I got messages from her cousin saying that she had been cheating on me. My wife claimed she never did up to this day. A week after we met up to do a Zoom meeting on her phone to meet our son's teacher online, she got a Facebook message saying something like, "Only a few hours." Eggplant emoji, peach emoji, sweat emoji. After the meeting, I asked her if she could explain that, and she said she didn't want to talk about it and that she had deleted the messages already. She said it was a girlfriend of hers because she was going on a date, and apparently girlfriends get excited for each other and think they're just going to get laid, which I obviously didn't believe at all. I got really upset and told her to leave around Thanksgiving October for us in Canada. She told me she was taking the kids to another city to visit her grandparents and go swimming for Thanksgiving. She ended up lying and actually went with our kids and this guy she apparently cheated on me with and stayed in a hotel. On their drive back, the car engine blew and died. The same car she fought me for and owes almost $12,000 on and still makes payments on every couple weeks. This is when I started to believe in karma a little bit more. Between September and November, my wife and I drank together and had sex around 5 or 6 times. I still wanted her back and I really wanted to have sex with her. The part that I'm realizing now is that she had been seeing this guy for a while. I found pictures of them about a week and a half ago. Ever since I saw those pictures and confirmed things, I've stopped talking to her. I just wanted to believe all of her lies, even when they were obvious. So she cheated on me, left me for him, and was cheating on that guy with me. Just 2 weeks ago, before I found out for sure, she came over and we talked. She let me feel her up and give her a full body massage and everything. Right now I can't even fathom what has been going on in her head. Some other extra facts: the kids are doing well, my apartment is spotless and I've lost 50 pounds since she left me, 235 pounds down to 185 pounds. She came to my place a couple of times and has cried to me about how it's so unfair that I'm doing so much better than she is. She said it wasn't fair that I was doing all of this now and not when we were together. She told me she still loved me on Christmas and bought me Christmas gifts, not just junk, but a bottle of sake because she knows how much I want to visit Japan and how much I enjoy making ramen and such. So she put thought into it. I don't mean to sound rude, but she doesn't look very good nowadays either. She put on weight and went hard into drugs and drinking. She told me she cries all the time. She told me she was depressed with me, left me thinking it'd be better, but is still depressed. And that messes with her. But as we know, happiness comes from within and she has none. So if you left me for someone else, at least be happy about it and make the best of it. She hasn't texted me for 4 days now. That's the longest she hasn't texted me in 4 months. She told me before when we were together that if she ever left, I would fail. When I started a job working in a kitchen, I started as a dishwasher her, and she said I would never make any friends. Apparently she forgot how social and good with people I am. All the waitresses loved me and I moved from dishwasher to working on the line and then was asked if I'd want to bartend. At the time, I was overweight and my self-worth and confidence were shot, so I didn't take up the bartending job. She didn't like how many people, especially girls, ended up liking me. Throughout the marriage, whenever my wife and I would go out drinking, she would always end up twerking on the wall or the floor and letting guys videotape her. She flirted with everyone and even had many of my close friends thinking I wanted a threesome with her. I don't drink often, but one Halloween I drank too much at a friend's party and ended up passing out and throwing up everywhere. While I was doing that, she was in the bathroom with guys, showing her chest off for free coke and who knows what else. But she convinced me nothing happened and ended up making me think I was crazy and that everyone else was wrong. Basically gaslighting me. I'm seeing a therapist now, and I'm learning that basically she just needed attention from external sources non-stop. Getting it from her husband just wasn't enough. I know we all have issues and our marriage was imperfect. I know I still love her and care about her, but I won't be a back burner or a second choice. I hate comparing how me and her are doing, but it makes me feel better. Right now I have my own place, a dog, happy kids, my own vehicle, money, and I'm in a university. Even though I feel like complete garbage. I'm working through the emotions so I can fully move on and try to be at peace. Whereas she is living with her mom with a broken car, no vehicle, asking me for money and living off Serb COVID money, unhappy and depressed. She thought the grass was greener and found out that it wasn't. She is so afraid to be alone with her own thoughts that she still sleeps with her mom or the kids sometimes. When I have moved on, she will not have. I don't know if she will ever move on because she knows she made a mistake and is stubborn. In the end, I just don't know why she cheated and left, but continues to text me, had sex with me and told me how I'm doing so much better than her. It boggles the mind. But then again, how can you understand someone who doesn't even understand themselves? I'm doing well, but some weeks I just feel so much pain. Like she pulled my heart out, shattered it and had sex with the other guy on top of the shattered pieces. Anyways, that's the story. There's so much more I could say and background that I could give, but I think this does it. It's a difficult time to get separated and cheated on, what with COVID happening at the same time.